Downward facing dog can be tricky for beginners. You know how your teacher is always saying to press your heels to the floor? Well, why won't yours reach? Most likely, it's because you have tightness in the hips, hamstring, and low back. That's the culprit. This might be how your downward facing dog looks when your feet are far away from your hands and you're trying to lift your tailbone towards the sky and press the heels down, but it's impossible because of body mechanics. So before you can do that, you'll need to decrease the angle for your hips by walking the feet towards the hands, bend the knees deeply, then press the tailbone up towards the sky. Be sure to relax the neck. Eventually, over time and with practice and slow, deep ujjayi breaths, you'll start to be able to straighten out the legs, and eventually, one day, the heels will connect to the mat. When the heels do connect to the mat, that's a signal for you to now increase the distance between the hands and feet. So step the feet back just a little, and when you do so, you'll need to again bend the knees. You might notice the heels are lifted up off the mat. That's okay. Keep pressing through the hands, broadening the shoulder blades, sending the tailbone towards the sky, and eventually the legs will straighten, the heels will connect, and then you can continue widening the distance between the hands and the feet. The final variation of the pose is to shift directly from plank without moving the hands or the feet into downward facing dog. There's no rush. Now, once you've got that sorted, you can pay attention to what's happening in the shoulders. You want to broaden the shoulder blades and then draw them away from the ears like this. Relax the neck and press in through the hands in Hasta Bandha. If you're not sure what to do with the hands, check out my video on how to down dog, and I go into a lot of detail on exactly what to do with the hands. Here are a couple of things that you could practice. Come to hands and knees and do scapula push-ups. So basically, you're going to let the chest sink down between the shoulder blades. You'll notice this strains the shoulders a little bit. Then you're going to broaden the shoulder blades, turn the eye of the elbow forward, then pull the shoulders away from the ears. Do quite a few of those every time you're on hands and knees. You can do the same thing in plank. So again, sinking the rib cage down, then broadening the shoulder blades and drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine you're going to send your shoulder blades into your back pocket. Another thing that can be really supportive in opening the hamstrings, hips, and low back is, well, you know how we do a whole bunch of sun salutations in yoga? When you're doing your sun salutation, be sure to hinge at the hips like this, keeping the spine nice and long. Imagine you're going to bring your low ribs towards your knees. Same thing when you come back up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to hips. And then inhale, rise up. This is going to help ensure that you're strengthening the upper back, which is normally opening and curved, and also opening the low back, the hips, and hamstrings more efficiently, as opposed to the other way that people often come up and down for their forward fold every time they do a sun salutation. That looks like this. So here in this example, we're opening up the upper back, which isn't necessary because we spend a lot of time with the upper back curled like this, and we're not getting into the low back, the hips, and hamstrings as efficiently as we would if we hinge at the hips rather than rounding all the way up and rounding all the way back down. So make good use of your sun salutations to open up the low back, the hips, and hamstrings like this. I hope this was helpful. If you want more tips on downward facing dog and other common asanas that you see in a yoga class, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're uploading videos every week. Also, if you want to go deeper into this, we do yoga trainings every month in Costa Rica as well as online. So check out the link in our bio. Thanks for joining.